Welcome back to Screamers. I'm Jessie here in the studio with my own honour as always. Slightly damp from the torrential never-ending downpour. But should we get stuck into a week full of Champions League and WSL action?
Let's go. The Champions League playoffs kicked off this week. We had Arsenal and Man United both winning the first leg.
And tidily in a way that means job is kind of done, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean,
You're tempting fate there. Let's all touch wood.
So I've got no skin in the game. I can tempt fate all I like.
You think Arsenal being 4-0 up against Leuven
Yeah.
is a pretty good cushion.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, I think Man United being 3-0 up against Atleti, it's still like obviously a huge lead going into the second leg, but it doesn't feel as secure. But obviously, both English teams in this playoff round are in really good places.
I think it's also that both their second legs are at home as well. So I think there's an element of you've got a really strong lead. You're both played really well in that first half. I think Man U had to withstand a bit more pressure, I'd say. Like Atleti were throwing quite a bit at them in the second half. Leuven, couldn't really mount much of a fight back against Arsenal, but they're coming back to defend really strong leads from home. I think will be it. You're right. It could be tempting fate and there could be an insane comeback on the cards, but I feel fairly confident that we are going to have 3 English teams in the next round.
No, so do I. And I think also Man U seem to have kind of recovered some form. I think they were dipping for a few weeks, but they looked really good midweek. Their defence, again, looks really good like it was at the beginning of the season. I agree. I would back both of these teams to advance.
And, if the guy who's growing his hair out really wants to cut it soon, the girlies told him he should look at Man U women's results because the hair-cutting celebration at the end of the game was very good fun.
Very good. I really, really, really enjoyed that.
So Wolfsburg and Juve had tied 2-2, and then Paris and Real snuck a win at 3-2. So those two will probably be the more interesting ones because I think you'd like to think Arsenal will rotate a little bit more in the second leg.
They should do. I mean, obviously we've been rested this weekend because we didn't have a game, so maybe we might see less than we would have done. But I think you're right. We now have 2 games in hand in the league, so things are going to start to stack up. So I think it's a great time for Renee to try some different options with that 4-0 cushion. Couple of games in the Championship called off this weekend, and of course Brighton Arsenal.
It did look like it needed to be called off.
A
My
bog.
God. Yeah. Mind you, have you seen some of the pictures that they've been playing on in Serie A?
No.
Oh my God, they made that look like a pristine carpet. It was
horrible.
The players in white kit just fully head to toe in mud. And this person I saw on Twitter was like, for a league that weirdly still celebrates its best players leaving, and this is how they humiliate the players that stay in the league. You're like, yeah, no, my God, they deserve better. So thank God we only had 3 matches called off all weekend.
Yeah, so true. So it does put us now 2 games in hand, but should we talk about the games which did happen? Maybe starting with the Friday night game, which was Man City Leicester.
A Friday night spectacular for the City fans.
Less so for the Leicester fans.
Now, I want to know, Leicester fans, at what point did you switch off? Because that was the fact that they got to 6-0 by 66 minutes.
It was insane. It was battering.
Interestingly, Leicester's defence, they started off, I think, defending pretty well, but it just got more and more messy. And I think with Lauren Hemp in the current form that she is in, down that wing, Miedema's understanding of space and being able to get into those pockets, Bunny Shaw's precision and like the link up between them, not to mention Carolyn, when it's working for that front 4, like that's kind of impossible and you can't be making mistakes, and Leicester were making a lot of mistakes.
It's like even without that, it's going to be a difficult job.
Totally.
Because the difference in quality. And Leicester were really unlucky to not go ahead. That ball bounced off.
They hit the woodwork a few times.
Yeah, not that I think going ahead would have really prevented what was coming.
Yeah.
But City, they just look so fluid. I think there was Kasparai was interviewed, I don't know if it was earlier this week, said that a lot of people are sort of chalking City's good form this season up to the fact that they're not playing Champions League. And obviously there is an element of like players are rested, but I don't think you can look at the way they're playing and think this is just because they're not playing midweek games.
No, I think the style of football under Jägerlös, they look so fluid and so confident in a way that's not restricted, as we have said previously about obviously Gareth. And then again, also to have Alba Fagino coming back from injury, that's like a 5th really good attacking player that you can just pop in and out. Aman Benny as well, you've got coming on. You can bring Grace Clinton on. It's insane.
And like having Hasegawa pop in with goals as well. Like,
I know, which she really didn't do so much in her role last season or in previous seasons for City. But now I think she has a little bit more of attacking freedom to go and like get forward and shoot. And she did score and assist. So
obviously Arsenal did a really good job against City the week. And I think partly with that was a brilliant game plan that restricted City's ability to move with the ball. Partly also Bunny Shaw and Carolyn not having their best games.
Yeah.
But how do you even begin to set up to defend this incredible attacking pack, knowing who they can bring off the bench, knowing how much they can just rely on both individual quality and team style? They are a terrifying prospect.
Yeah, they're an absolute force to be reckoned with.
But not the biggest scoreline in the league this weekend.
That is insane that 6-0 is not the biggest scoreline. And what's even more insane is that the scorers of more goals than that, 7 goals, were Tottenham Hotspur.
Can you imagine putting money on that at the start of the season?
Not on my bingo card.
So crazy. So Spurs beat Aston Villa 7-3 today. What
was mad as well is not only was it a 7-3 like crazy goal fest, it was 3-1 until about 70 minutes.
Yeah. And the crazy thing as well is that Spurs scored 7 goals from 2.8 XG. It's either like really a combination of insane luck, really good calm finishing. It's like it's crazy.
Yeah.
How have they managed that?
It was such an exciting game to watch in neutral, to the extent that we had it on double screening with another game, which we'll come to in a moment, and just ended up switching screens. So put the Spurs Villa game on the bigger one because it was so fun to watch. There was 7 goals from 6 different scorers for Tottenham.
It's crazy as well because obviously they've been doing really well on points in the table. Their goal difference has been abysmal. They've just increased their goal difference by 200% in one game. But it's crazy, isn't it? Because like they've been really struggling to score, and then suddenly, 6 goal scorers in one game, and an absolute thriller. Like I don't know what happened.
It really shows where the recruitment's gone well, the team planning's gone well. Like to be able to not just rely on one outlet.
Yeah,
Sinja Gapset still. I mean, I think she got player of the match, and very deservedly so. Opened the scoring. The Olivia Holt goal was hilarious because she absolutely should have played it off. She really, there was like, I think Summoner was there was 2 or 3 other players she absolutely should have pulled it back to and was like, nah, I'm just going to hit this from like a 0.2 degree angle and it'll go in.
I mean, if she hadn't scored that, we would have been sitting here saying, Spurs decision making in the final third, but she knew that was going in.
She's having that kind of a season, isn't it? And I love Tinker Tamberg coming back on. Obviously, she's on that journey back to full fitness, I'd say, but to come on and score 2 fantastic goals.
Honestly, I'm obsessed with her. I love her. Icon of this league.
Wow.
Yeah, already not even one full season in, and I think Tinker Tamberg might be a WSL icon.
Preview for like end of season awards there, everybody. Once again, our feedback is having very positive repercussions for teams because after saying it was sad to see Hermano struggling for minutes at Spurs, gets almost an entire game subbed off in the 85th, 86th minute.
Yeah.
Goal and assist as well.
We're like the opposite of Paul the Octopus. You know how like...
I've often said so.
What do you mean who's Paul the Octopus?
Do you remember from was it 2006?
Yeah, 2006 and probably 2010.
Yeah, we just sort of
He used to predict all the international scores.
Oh.
He's a psychic octopus, obviously.
Yeah, we're somewhere between that and like the 3 Witches of Macbeth. That's where we sit.
That's where we sort of position ourselves.
Yeah.
We can't predict anything, but at the same time, things we say happen.
Well, it's kind of like the things we say immediately get like put into motion, or like the opposite of them. So we're
jinxing.
Yeah, exactly. So we are a bit more witchy than Paul the Octopus, to be fair. You're right.
Yeah.
So I think you have actually nailed that description. We should put it in our bio.
Yeah, it was just an absolutely wild game. I loved Hermano getting that and also feeling really influential throughout the game.
I think also those two teams going into it feeling like they were probably quite evenly matched made them play quite an open game, a very attacking game, which kind of meant they did both leave quite a lot of space at the back, which I think is also why we saw this insane thriller of 10 goals.
Yeah.
I think actually pretty much all of those goals were screamers. Like they were all really well taken, but also there were quite a few where there were defensive issues. Both teams obviously were really up for it, but Spurs did seem to have that quality over Aston Villa, because I think Aston Villa are really, really struggling.
I really struggle to see what the journey is with Arroyo.
Yeah.
I think we were quite positive when she came in, thinking, okay, this is going to be somebody who can take Villa, who've been starting to plateau. Where are they going from here? And that's just continued. It's a strong squad that should be putting in more consistent performances, but it really feels like for Villa these days, if Kirsty Hansen's not firing, then they struggle to do... I mean, I think Jean-Francois looked promising, but no, those parts just aren't being knitted together in that team. And I don't see... It doesn't feel like there's been any real progression from that team this season.
No, it feels kind of how Spurs used to feel, apart from that they have more quality, so you still kind of expect a few more results.
Yeah.
But yeah, like how Spurs used to really rely on Beth England, and it's the same, you're right, with Kirsty Hansen, and she's a fantastic player, but they do have, you know, Chastity Grant, Ebony Salmon, like they're not making their mark on these games in the way that you expect them to at all.
It'll be interesting to see what happens, leadership-wise over the summer, because looking at how Villa are performing at the minute, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a managerial change there over the summer. But
yeah, it's just the inconsistency. It's like these runs of really good form and then runs of like atrocious form now with all of these losses in a row. It's just not really acceptable.
No. Speaking of inconsistency,
It's just not really acceptable.
It's not really acceptable. Like, I love you, Natalia, babe. I really love you, and I want this to work out for you.
I love the
right
idea of
now,
you writing the report card.
right now, it's not acceptable.
Not acceptable. Do better. Try harder. You're letting us down.
You're letting yourself down.
No, I feel bad.
I mean, it's kind of true though. It is, because I think that's part of what we've loved about Spurs' journey this season, is it's made the whole league feel more interesting and more competitive, and
100%.
that's what you need teams like Villa to be doing that consistently, and you need London City Lionesses to be doing that
I
consistently.
mean, remember, was it 3 seasons ago when Rach Daly first joined Aston Villa? They had that incredible season. They had Carla Ward, she had this project, and they really were contesting these top spots, and they just aren't that anymore. You're right, they're just not challenging. And it would be great if Spurs start doing it too, and we also have Aston Villa, and so it becomes way more competitive. But it's almost like there's this kind of revolving thing of those teams that they'll have one really good season and then they sort of fade away again.
I mean, I add Liverpool to that list.
Well, exactly, yeah, exactly. So hopefully that does start to change, like with Spurs and the journey they're on. But you're right, it does feel like that, and it's hard to imagine or believe that Aston Villa are that same team, because they have a lot of the same players still.
Man United took on London City Lionesses, who are another team. I mean, we had a comment on Spotify from Chris last week who said, wondering whether London City Lionesses will do away with their stop-start performances, or are they going for a win alternate games philosophy? And that really does sum up, again, the lack of consistency that we're seeing from teams. London City Lionesses don't seem to be able to string 2 convincing performances together in a row.
Totally, but it just hasn't come together in the way that I think any of us thought it would for London City Lionesses. Like at the very beginning of the season, in the first few games, it felt like it was slowly clicking, but it's never really continued in that vein, considering the quality they've brought in and also the sort of ambition they stated. I think they sort of shot themselves in the foot there with being so kind of overt about, well, if we don't make Champions League, it won't be a successful season. Like that was a crazy claim, considering they turned over almost their whole squad in September. But players like that they have paid a lot of money for are not making impacts in the game, and I've been quite disappointed about.
$1 million for Gaora to have had no goals or assists this season.
No impact beyond that.
No impact. Yeah, it's crazy. It's such a I don't know, it's such a weird way to think about a football club. And my perspective, looking at it like as an outsider, I'm like, oh, this is a great position for them to be in. Their first season in the WSL is really, really strong. But then, as you said, Maya, it's like this image that they're creating for themselves of like delusions.
Yeah, totally enlarged image.
Yeah, I wonder how many people have sent Aslani screenshots of that interview and been like, "You still sure about this, babe?" Because it was such come in with ambition, 100%, because there is ambition in that club. Michelle Kang is all about ambition. But you have to be realistic. You have come up to a new league. You have brought in almost an entirely new squad.
Yeah.
I think it really says a lot that the stars of London City Lionesses this season have been Nikita Paris, Freya Godfrey, both of whom combined for the goal today. I think that was a fantastic goal.
Yeah.
So well taken from Nikita Paris. Jay Briviere probably should have done a lot better, but that diving header. And Aslani, who was also there before. None of these massive superstars. I mean, Freya Godfrey was a new signing, but I think was not talked about in the same leagues as the Grace Gioros. And that is what the team is working around. They haven't figured out what their identity is.
Michelle Kang has come in, spent loads and loads of money, has all this ambition of being this incredibly successful women's football team, and she's positing this like new model of a football team. But the fact is, it is about chemistry and playing together and the right players in the right place, and like they've just been like, this really good striker, this really good defender, this really expensive person, they can all come. And it's like, that's just not how it works. Like there's a reason why football is based on these like relationships on the pitch and chemistry on the pitch and style of play, and they just seem to have thought that they could just bypass that.
Yeah.
And it hasn't worked.
No. As a positive to any LCL fans out there, I am really enjoying watching Freya Godfrey play this season.
100%. And also, to be clear, I'm just saying, and I think Honor was saying too, it's like, it's to do with, I don't think they're doing badly, but considering they're a new team, it's more that what they said they were going to do, and they're just not doing that at all. And I think that's because they completely misunderstood how you get to that place.
At the risk of pissing off some fans of the NWSL, it feels like a very NWSL attitude, isn't it? You can create this franchise, you can bring in these players, you can immediately establish yourself, which is just not the nature of football in the UK.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, Freya Godfrey and watching her bloom at London City Lionesses,
really exciting.
It's been great. I do think she's having the great link-ups with Jana Fernandez and that understanding with the forward line. But you know, Man United again, I don't think they made as easy work of it as they did against Atleti in the midweek, but managed to get the win. Jess Park, screamer. It's kind of like a Pina goal, isn't it? You know exactly what a Jess Park goal is going to look like.
Yeah, exactly. And you know when she's about to do it. Like she's in that space. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. She's like the one stride. Yeah.
Yeah.
A good win for United, which keeps them in second place with the Arsenal game being knocked off. And it keeps them ahead of Chelsea, who did manage to win today. First win, I guess, before we talk about the match, first game Chelsea have played since the mad news that came out midweek of Paul Green being let go.
Crazy.
Which seems to have been as much of a surprise to us as it was to many of the players.
I mean, yeah, what some of them found out just through the media, I think. Absolutely ridiculous. It feels like that was the last bit of continuity with the old era of Chelsea, and it's just been, for reasons that don't seem particularly clear, severed.
Yeah, severed is exactly the word that I would use, because it seems so sudden, and there's already been such a huge change for those players, and it's such a strange unknown for them at the moment, with them not doing as well as they expect.
Yeah.
It feels like a very strange time to do this.
Yeah. Feels like they're really... the journey of how the Chelsea ownership has treated Chelsea women seems to be very much on two tracks, and like there was a bit of like making them more distinct entities, but now it's like, okay, well, Bon Pastor is not a manager, she's the coach. And Paul Green has, I think, slowly had his sort of responsibilities over recruitment moved away from him.
Yeah.
So it's like they want all of the control to actually sit back with this group of, you know, people on the board who look after the men's football and don't really necessarily know what's good for Chelsea women. And it just adds to, undeniably, a quite turbulent atmosphere there has been at Chelsea recently.
Yeah, especially with the men's side of things over the past few years. That's been the story of turbulence, and it feels like the women's team has stayed protected from that in some sense due to these structures that Emma Hayes and Paul Green have built. You could hope that things would keep standing strong and these structures would be built upon for more future success, but it kind of feels like with Emma gone and Paul now gone and a lot of things shifting, the women's side is also kind of absorbing that chaos.
Yeah. Does feel a little bit chaotic, and for some of those players who have known him for years, been like
10,
he's been
12 years,
been there for, like, you know, the Millie Brights, Aggie Beaver-Jones has been there for their entire tenure at Chelsea.
Erin Cuthbert.
Yeah, it's quite a strange, and a lot of them were quite vocal on social saying goodbye to him and how much, you know, how much impact it had on their careers. So it's going to be quite an adjustment for them, and they, I think, under the circumstances, it must have been a weird week, came out and got the job done today against Liverpool.
Yeah, there was a moment where I thought you might be able to pull it back when Chelsea were 1-0 up, because I do think Liverpool looked good, and they obviously had that disallowed goal quite early on.
Yeah.
But yeah, once the Chelsea machine gets going and, you know, starts grinding it out, it can be quite difficult.
Yeah, I'm really glad to see that the awful 9-1 League Cup loss before Christmas, the lovely early Christmas present that we had, didn't sort of weigh on their minds anymore. And we stayed true to the game plan we've been developing. And I thought we looked strong. I thought we looked strong down the wing. I thought Bergstrom looked really good and was unlucky for... well, not unlucky. It was obviously a handball and should absolutely have been ruled out. But it was, you know, unfortunate. Yeah. But that second goal, I think killed us off.
Yeah,
definitely. But you did show so much confidence going into that game. You started really, really strong and represented yourselves well.
Yeah.
For the whole game.
Yeah. put that on the report
I
card.
feel like the story of your season really shows how sad it can be because football results are so binary.
Yeah.
I feel like you should have been getting like
A gold star.
0.6 of a point.
Can you imagine the stats heads if that became a thing, like deciding who gets what?
Okay, Chelsea getting 2.43.
Guys, imagine if the table was like not on points at all, it just was on goal difference.
Oh,
So like it didn't matter if you won or lost, but it's just how many goals you scored or conceded across the season.
Shit, Man City would still be firmly at the top.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
at the moment it's like
Pretty even,
pretty much.
actually.
Yeah,
Actually,
Liverpool will
it's
get to jump up a few spots.
that's a very fun way of looking at it. In Japan, their men's league are switching to match the calendar of European football, and so they're having this like mini summer tournament, and they're not having draws. So if you go to a draw, it goes to penalties, and if you win the penalties, you get 2 points, and if you lose the penalties, you get 1 point.
Yeah.
Just
Wow, I love that.
for like a 3-week or something. 3-month summer tournament.
That's fun.
So maybe we'll bring in something like that instead. That kept Liverpool in 11th spot with Leicester still at the bottom, who still have that game to play against Arsenal, which I can't imagine will change their fortunes. And 1 point behind West Ham, who went a goal down to Everton in that 6-pointer. Quite a good goal, and that was it.
Yeah, pretty much. But West Ham's defending for that goal was pretty poor. So
Yeah.
It seems like it keep getting the momentum and then stopping at West Ham. They have a couple of good results and then stop, and then is again
London City Lionesses.
consistency. What can we say?
But I guess no team can be consistent all the time unless you're Chelsea last season, not losing one game, because everyone else has to win or draw or lose at some point. You could be consistently losing every week if you're Liverpool for most of the season, first half of the season.
Yeah,
And that is consistent.
and that is consistent.
So
and I
true.
was very proud of our consistency.
Well, this weekend was an absolute screamer fest. There's no doubt about it. So, last week's winner honour, what are you picking?
I was spoilt for choice, as you said. Spurs were just popping out screamer after screamer, but I'm going to go for someone who hasn't really been firing this season. We know they can score a screamer. Pretty much most goals they score are screamers, and that is Chelsea's number 10, Lauren James.
Oh, it was a nice one.
It was just such a classic LJ. The way
Oh, it was, yeah.
she's dribbling, she doesn't even look up at the goal.
No.
She just knows somehow where exactly she's going to put it between the defenders and, yeah, just swoops it in.
The kind of mental geometry she must do to figure out the angle of because it was like the perfect gap between two players and then also between Jennifer Falk and the post.
Yeah.
How does she do that so instinctively?
Yeah, that was kind of the magic of that for me. So I thought I have to go for LJ.
Yeah.
Even though there were just an abundance of...
the screamers overfloweth this weekend.
The screamers do overfloweth. Jessie, what are you going for?
I think I might go for something from the Spurs Aston Villa game, and I'm going to go for Tinker Tamberg's first goal.
Oh, yeah.
Was just hit with such sting on it. I think it's Vinberg. It takes a shot and it's blocked by the Villa defence. Very good block. And it rolls out, and without even a second to think about it, again, just knows exactly where she's going to place it. Hits this incredibly ferocious shot. I think it's even if Roebuck had got a hand to it, her hand would have been blasted off. There was no saving that. And it's nice to see her coming back now and getting more game time and getting goals.
Yeah, that was a really nice hit. I want to give a shout out to Carolyn's goal in the Leicester game because I thought that was gorgeous and a brilliant assist from Lauren Hemp. But I am going to go for a classic Jess Park. I just really love this goal that she whips out.
Yeah.
It's kind of similar to the LJ. It's like their trademark.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Trademark banger that they can just pull out every few weeks.
And it's so nice when they do it because you really feel like they're really feeling themselves.
Yeah.
And I never got to pick the one that she did at the Emirates because I couldn't because it's against my religion. But this one was gorgeous outside the box. Rocket into the bottom corner. Classic Jess Park. That's what I'm going for.
Nice. Well, we'll put the clips of those screamers of the week and of Carolyn's wonder goal up on our Instagram for you to see if you're not already. And then you can vote on Instagram and Spotify for your screamer of the week.
Now, we have all got Winter Olympics, or Woolympics as I like to call it, fever. I think it's fair to say we've all been locked in, watching it fairly consistently, fairly sort of non-stop, I would say.
Every hour of every day.
I wake up
the
thinking
freelance
about it.
among us have maybe been watching it more than the others, but
I have been waking up at like 7 and the feed hasn't started yet, and I'm like, come on guys, let's go.
I'm ready. Where are you? So this is our little winter sojourn amongst the football that we're gonna do. We're gonna delve into our Winter Olympics madness.
Exactly. So what have been everyone's favourite bits and bobs from the games? Just so that everyone knows, obviously we're not experts in any of this, so please don't expect any sort of analysis here.
I really thought you were going to drop out some perfect sort of breakdown of what the different, like how much wind speed affects ski jump. Mine is very, I think, women's football coded. In my favourite thing, or one of my favourite things, is the sheer joy that the women's snowboarders and also the freestyle skiers just have for each other. Like it's such like a fun community and
camaraderie.
Like
so beautiful.
One of them will absolutely wipe out like at a face full of snow, get up at the end and be like, yeah, all right, yeah, that went great, and then wait for the next person to come down and then be so pumped for them, and it's just such a really fun thing to see. Shout out to Tim and Ed as well, who are the commentators on sort of all of the freestyle snowboard and skiing sports on the BBC. I wish we had commentators like that for WSL games who just have that joy.
I could not agree more. Like for me, they are the MVPs of the Olympics. Like they do the Summer Olympics as well because they do the skateboarding, and they are just such good vibes. Like it's like the joy they have for the sport, the way they like intimately know all the players, and they're not like, sometimes I find the commentators are so GB coded, but they just love everyone. Like today I was watching the men's slopestyle skiing qualification. It was a Finnish rider, and they like they knew what his run was going to be, and they loved it, and they were like, it's so creative, if he puts this down he's going to qualify for the final, it's amazing, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, his rail section was perfect, and then he fucked up his jump and he fell over, and Ed was like, oh my god, I just feel so gutted, I feel like I've just been dumped.
But just imagine having commentators like that on WSL games, and it's not just about what's happening, but like having that attachment to the players and being as emotionally invested. It's like having fans in the booth. But in a way where they still also know what they're talking about.
And they explain it really well. Like it's so accessible. It's amazing. I love it.
So yeah, I just like the vibes on the slopestyle stuff is, I think,
so good. Unlike the vibes in the curling, which is currently
spicy.
It's very spicy.
Canada
Who would
cheating?
have thunk it?
I mean, it's not like Canada have been caught cheating before, is it? More consistency between women's football and the Winter Olympics, I think.
That was a really deep cut for everyone who remembers that. Wasn't that deep actually, but you might have forgotten.
I was like, so that was the last Olympics. It's not even that much of a deep cut. It's recent history.
Listen, Canada, get your game together. What are we doing?
No, first the drone spying, now the illegal finger on the stone.
I forgive them though because of heated rivalry. Thanks for giving me heated rivalry.
It's not a good enough reason, I'm afraid. Yeah, the curling drama is. I'm loving all of the pictures of like the God and Adam touching, and then it's like the curling stone. It's fantastic.
I also think the ice dance story was incredible. Like the villains, the heroes. Netflix dropped a really well-timed documentary just before the ice dance about those 3 top couples, so you really got into the rivalry and like the baddies and the goodies. I will say it's the only time I've been like backing the USA. No offense to the USA, but you've got enough support. But against the French,
nasty bastards. Not the French in general. just
to clarify,
these few specific French ice skaters.
I know. I was watching. What's also it's making me do is rewatch the Scott Moir and Tessa Virtue performances from 2018 Olympics, and just watching the same evil Frenchman be sat there losing the gold medal. Oh, it's so delightful.
Perfect.
The men's figure skating was insane. Everyone dropping like flies.
And can I just say, the BBC did not see that coming because they didn't even broadcast the Kazakhstani athletes programme, because he was so not pipped for a medal that they had cut to ice hockey at that point. And then they came back for the last 3 programmes.
I loved how shocked he looked. Mikhail Shadilov was just there the whole time. It's like he had no idea what was happening.
No.
Just in the hot seat for about half of the programme, like watching everyone's scores come in, like, I'm still here. This is
I'm winning.
Guys, has there been a mistake?
Yeah, I don't think I should still be sat here.
Should we get our calculators out?
It really reminded me of the greatest game in WSL history, which was the 3.5 minutes that Chelsea and Liverpool played on the icy frozen pitch where every single player was falling over.
The banana skins.
Yeah. When Emma Hayes promised to buy everyone a hot dog when the game was rescheduled. Do you reckon somewhere Ilya Malinin's coach is offering to buy everyone hot dogs for the next time he wins?
And my other favourite, by the way, which is Valentine's Day coded or not, is the absolute ridicule that has been met by the Norwegian biathlete who tried to garner sympathy for cheating on his girlfriend after his bronze medal. And it just massively backfired.
Yeah. And also not just like the cringiest announcement and use of your platform ever, but taking away from his fellow Norwegian athlete who was trying to dedicate his gold medal to another one of their former teammates who died.
Oh God.
Oh my God, I didn't even hear about that part.
Yeah. It's like, sorry, yeah, no, meaningful, but I fucked up and I'm going to make it everyone's problem.
I cheated on my girlfriend after we've been together for 3 months.
Yeah.
It's just so manipulative as well to
Yeah.
do that so publicly.
Yeah.
It's really scary.
He won the bronze medal, but she was the gold medal.
Yeah, and you didn't get her. You can't have her.
You didn't get her back. Sorry.
Any other favourite moments from you, Anna?
I really enjoyed, there's a couple of things, really enjoyed Amber Glenn's thirst trap that she posted. Did you guys see of her like flexing her muscles? She was like, don't forget all bodies come in different shapes and sizes, whatever. And then she like was
Mine happens to be really hot.
flexing her biceps and like flexing her back. And obviously, as our very famous bisexual. Well, she said she's bisexual and pansexual. So as our famous bisexual girlie, she was giving the big muscles
Giving the people
for the
what they
lesbians. Yeah. And then obviously my other thing was, this was a while ago now, but Gus Kenworthy spelling out "fuck ice" in the snow with his own piss.
Yeah.
Was also like, that was a great statement. And really cleverly done as well.
But also, it's
Really clever.
Yeah, because he didn't get in trouble for it.
what I was thinking the other day of what WSL teams do you think could be most suited to specific sports, or like what teams have the same energy as specific sports?
Oh, I like this.
Because I think with how many speedsters that they have in their team, specifically Lauren Hemp, but kind of everyone's very fast. City are the speed skating team of
Yeah.
the WSL.
By the way, I love the speed skating. We haven't gone to it, but I love the speed skating. But yes, I agree. Man City is very, very speed skating. Like sometimes, actually, when I was watching the speed skating, not a few days ago, I genuinely had to double take because I thought I was Lauren Hemp.
There's also one of them who looks a little bit like Miedemar.
Yeah.
I think they might just be sneaking in over there, nipping
They're
off.
like, well, we're not playing Champions League, so.
Yeah, that's what they're doing with their weeknights.
Suki had a good one, which was that curling is very Chelsea coded because it's like, it's kind of boring to watch, but we do win quite a lot.
Yeah.
I guess it's just
slow
like
burn.
Yeah, it's like a slow kind of boring game, but we do usually win, and therefore, like, because we've won quite a few times, people are maybe not that interested. But yeah, I guess they're still winning.
Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna say Leicester are some kind of big air because right now it looks like they're free falling. And they're gonna wipe out.
That's good. That is good. I like that.
So they're not qualifying for the final.
No.
I like that a lot.
I think Man U, because they're quite fun, I would put them in like half pipe, or like, you know, they've got a bit of pizzazz. They've got like Melvin Mallard, we've got Elizabeth Turner, and they've got like their like funny little celebrations and stuff, and they're a bit like irreverent, which I think is quite like half pipe or
slope style.
Yeah, or slope style, something like that.
Something with a bit of personality.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely see that.
I can see Mallard landing sort of a, I don't know, 1080 switch or whatever, and then coming down and just doing like the dance on the way down.
Oh, okay, I've just been inspired, but I can't remember what it's called.
Describe it.
The one where you run up the hill, you run up the mountain and ski down.
Yeah, the worst thing in the world. Yeah,
the worst thing in the world. Oh, skimo. Ski mountaineering.
Yes.
I think that this is a bit of Spurs. They've struggled uphill for a long period of time. They've been working away, suffering, and now they're like skiing down as fast as they can, enjoying the ride.
Yours are quite metaphorical, actually.
Yeah, okay. I think mine. I've gone a bit too deep.
No, I like that.
You've gone big picture.
Yeah, you've got thought into it, whereas I've just been like, it's their vibe.
No, I really like the Man United vibes one, but I don't know why all that's coming to me is like big thoughts.
Yeah.
You are very deep.
I'm a deep thinker.
Not like me and Jessie.
It's like,
Nothing going on.
yeah. Just one brain cell being passed back and forth.
I think Arsenal are a bit of ice dance, you know.
Ooh.
I can see that.
I think Kimmy Little and her perfect turns, Vic Palova and her turns, Kyra Cooney-Cross and her turns, they're all just turning and spinning around.
So they really get through their twizzle sequence.
Stina Blacksenia spinning, scoring.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect.
And, you know, with all of the new music that they're bringing in for the goal scorers, it does match as well. They all have their own programmes.
I think you're right. We're ice dance. Not figure skating because it's not so much the axel jumps. It's more the twizzles.
Yeah, there's more personality with ice dance.
Yeah.
That's such a good shout. Anna's fucking great at this game. Right, you're gonna
You found your niche. Congratulations.
My one talent in life.
Can we get you on the BBC for like a little spot special as they hand over the baton from Winter Olympics back to the WSL? You, Tim and Ed just talking about.
Oh my God, please. Dream job.
Well, I'd love to hear if anyone has thoughts about what other teams match different sports' energies. Please let us know on social, because I feel like there's probably some quite silly / controversial thoughts out there.
Shall we check in on the Woso Community Noticeboard, where we put up some news from the week from the women's football world? Jessie and Maya, who wants to go first?
I was just going to give Kim Little her flowers on her 400th appearance for the Arsenal, which is amazing. I know you hate it when I say the Arsenal, but I'm saying it, okay?
That's fine, you're allowed. I'm just going to be...
just going to cringe in the
corner. Silently cringing.
Sorry that we are the Arsenal. But congratulations to Kim Little. That is Herculean. And as we have said week in, week out, she is still the linchpin of that team, which is honestly incredible.
How many appearances is she off the top spot? Do you know?
Yeah, so Emma Byrne has 459 appearances, which is the most. And Kira Grant's 403. So she's hopefully, fingers crossed, going to pass that.
Yeah.
But a bit of a way to go to 459.
You'd need 2 seasons, wouldn't you, to get that?
Look.
Oh, what about that?
Exactly. I think she's got it in her.
She'll be playing when she's 60 still. She'll still be running rings around everybody. That is a massive, massive achievement.
It's huge.
What did you have to put onto the notice board, Anna?
Yeah, guys, unfortunately, this is a really bleak one. It's one that I don't even want to talk about because I just think it's so grim. But I saw that there was like some kind of charity auction happening with the Roma women's players' kits being auctioned off. So like shirts and shorts being auctioned off. And some of the players whose kits were being auctioned were like 16, 17. And basically there are people bidding hundreds and hundreds of euros for the shorts compared to like 100 euros for the tops. And the ones of like the young 17-year-old players were going for even more. And it's just like so sickening.
Grim.
And what are the clubs thinking?
I think that's what's the worrying part, isn't it?
Like, I haven't thought that through at all.
Are you aware that when you're auctioning off these shorts, you're going to be selling them to people with maybe not the nicest intentions of framing them and putting them on their wall, but like people who are willing to pay hundreds of euros for, some match-worn shorts.
This might be painting with a broad brush, but I don't think anybody who wants to frame sports memorabilia and put it up on the wall is thinking of buying shorts. You're always thinking of buying shirts.
Exactly. It's the most iconic thing. So it feels like
a
really strange decision of them to do that.
It's such an oversight, and this is one of the things of like there's so many ways where the game I think needs to be a little bit better to protect.
Just a bit sharper.
Yeah,
and this is the kind of thing where it is particular to the women's game. Not to generalize, but there's probably a few more men out there with bad intentions about women's football kits than there are with anyone else auctioning off a male football player's kit.
It's grim, just grim all over. But I think on the flip side, one thing I was going to put onto the notice board is a club who is doing a bit more to consider like the space for their women's team. So it's a team in the USL Men's League in the US, Hearts of Pine, who are from Portland, Maine, have not yet got a women's team. I think they might only be a season or two old, but they've announced that they put on Instagram last week the women's game grows in Maine. A part of the dream from day one was that they would have a women's team. They wanted to be a club for all of Maine, not just like in the men's side of it. So to set up, to start the process of setting up the women's team, they're holding town halls with like the community and like fans of the club to basically help them shape it as a community. So they're doing one with like fans and supporters. They're doing one about what the youth and the grassroots section of it would look like, and then how like the business can support, and then how it can also like feed back into the wider community. I'm like, that's such a cool way to think about setting up your women's team. That is not just being done of like as an afterthought or for, you know, for a tick box exercise. Like, oh no, this is going to be bedded into everything about the club. And also, their kit this season is bloody brilliant. So that adds cool points.
Always the main sell at the end of the day.
But yeah, I just like, I really love, and I think there's quite a few cool things coming out of the USL, because the team in Minnesota Aurora have been doing so much. There was a report on The Athletic by Theo Lloyd-Hughes about all the steps they're taking as a club to protect and help and basically look after their local community, given all of the dangerous atmosphere that's being created by ICE currently in Minnesota. And like small things from, they've stopped in-person shopping at the club shop to protect employees. They will lock all buildings so that people can't like get in and just do like unauthorized raids. But they're doing like community support and sort of like taking things to members of you know, the Minnesota Aurora team staff, but also just members of the local community. There's money from season tickets that's being matched by sponsors that's going to support immigration defense funds. Like, it's just, this is how it's fun to see like a proper community bedded club in the US, because I feel like we don't often think about sports over there like that.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
So bleak that they're having to do that, but yeah, amazing that they are.
Yeah,
we'll share the article for anyone who wants to read it on our socials, because it was heartening to hear about a club taking actual active steps to support its community.
The only other thing that I had was that I loved the pic of Vicky Pelova as a small child at chess club.
That was incredibly Maya-coded.
It was. I already loved her, but now I love her even more.
I wonder if you could challenge her to a game. Put out the call now.
Well, if she was, I imagine if she was a bit of a chess prodigy, if she was at a chess tournament as a kid and now she's a professional athlete, I think she's got a bit of that really serious competitor energy in her. So Maya, you think you're brave enough to have a go?
Look, I haven't finished my chess book yet, so I think I've like nailed openings, nailed end games, but I lack the skill to get myself into the position to be able to carry out the end games that I know.
Sounds a bit like Arsenal's problem at points of season, to be honest.
But yeah, Victoria, if you're listening, or if anyone's chatting to her, let's play.
Wow, a chess exhibition match in the middle of the Emirates pitch between Maya and Vicky P. A charity fundraiser.
That would be my dream. But I do need a few months to finish my chess book.
Watch this space. That's all we've got time for on Screamers this week, but come back next week when the WSL's on break. But we'll be chatting all about the second legs of the Champions League playoffs and some more FA Cup action. Until then,
follow us across Instagram, TikTok and YouTube at screamers_pod, or drop us an email at screamerspod@gmail.com.
And don't forget to follow, rate, review, like, subscribe.
Tell your friends, tell the people.
So that we can reach even more, if you can imagine it, women's football fans.
Bye.
Bye.